Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new episode of Beating Grandmaster with Stupid Stuff. Today we have a special episode called The Caster, in which I have to get as much vision as I can get, and at the same time also cast the game as I'm playing it. So let's just give it a try. Alright ladies and gentlemen, in the top left spawning as the green Protoss player, playing for Team Liquid. He is a Protoss, he is smart, good looking and very funny. We're of course talking about Harstem. And in the bottom right, spawning as the red Zerg player, playing for Team Bly, for Team on Fire. It is going to be Bly. Alright. You see Harstem opening up with a relatively late scout. The reason probably because he forgot to send out his probe on the map. He wanted to block his opponent's natural, but he decided not to do it. Usually Harstem always says, if you want to block your opponent's natural, you need to send a very fast worker. And if you can't send a very fast worker, it's better not to scout at all and just do a no-scout build order. But because he's playing against Bly, doing something like a gateway scout isn't all that bad. Bly, of course, known to cheese a little bit, proxy a hatchery every now and again. But for now, Bly just seems to be opening up with a standard hatchery first on his natural because it didn't get blocked. See some of that mineral harassment going down. I think Harstem just messed up his wall a little bit. Look at that wall, guys. Oh no. Harstem not playing the holders right now. Perhaps a little bit distracted because he's an idiot. Well, continued worker harass still going on here. So, soon we'll be seeing what Harstem decides to do in this opening phase of the game. Bly most likely will just be responding to whatever is happening. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see something like a Twilight opener on this map, as it tends to be difficult to hold anything, any Queen all-ins with Stargate. As we're not seeing Warpgate yet, I do believe we might be seeing some of that Stargate. And yep, there it goes, Stargate in the main base, Chrono Boost immediately as well. Now we'll see if Bly decides to run across the map with his first two links. There's two links indeed moving across the map, as two links are also chasing the probe. This is a good trick out of Bly. Harstem is not aware of this and might accidentally send his first adept straight away across the map. And then the two links that are on the south part of the map might just be able to kind of scoot by. Harstem is aware of that and keeps his adept at home for now. So far doing a pretty decent job. Finds the links and gets a little bit of damage on the first link. Now the links from the top side actually are moving in. And let's see if Bly is going to be capable of... No! Oh, Harstem with the pylon block. Beautiful play here out of the Duchy. Gets the first adept. Or gets the first link, excuse me, with his first adept. And now starts his first Oracle. Okay, that's interesting. So... rather than a more modern style with the Void Ray first, he's actually playing a pretty old school thing here. And it is going straight away for that Oracle. Wouldn't surprise me if he opens up with double Oracle. We see a third adept coming down already. Bly at the same time not doing much of anything, which is not that weird of course. The early phases, drones tend to be the main priority. Soon, however, we will see whether he throws down a quick Roach Warren, or perhaps we will be seeing something different. All of that still completely viable. Harstem moving towards his third base location right now, same time scouting with his Oracle. He will be able to get his third base down without any real issues, it seems like. There's no links in the neighborhood. And right now Harstem realizes that there is a third forward base that kind of cements that idea in his head of like, hey, perhaps it is going to be a queen pool, and we immediately see the robo go down. A fantastic call here. If you're afraid of that queen pool, I really, really like that play. It is a possibility now for Harstem to actually get a third Oracle, but it doesn't seem like he is going for it. Instead, we might just see a couple of extra adepts warp in. No, money is being spent on a battery instead. Alright. Bly hasn't taken any extra gases yet on his natural. And his Roach Warren is relatively late. Ooh, no, 2 gases have been taken. Excuse me, I misread that. And in his main base, we see a lair going down as well. Roach Warren being this late tends to indicate that we're perhaps looking at a non-all-in build here out of Bly, which would be kind of rare. We see the first observer on the way, and immediately the Robo Bay going down on the side of Harstem. I'm loving this play personally. So safe, so solid. He thinks he is the better player. Now we know that Bly is actually slightly favored because of his Aligulak rating, but Harstem really showing that he's a confident man. That confidence tends to be based on nothing, but you know, confidence still is a good trait to have in StarCraft 2. Okay, Twilight Council going down right now on the side of Harstem, and his first. I'm expecting disruptors. Technically, it can be this Colossi as well, but it would surprise me. And Harstem is going with that revelation. He wants to know, hey, what's popping out there, my friend? What's popping out? And he will see that it's actually going to be a couple of roaches. So, yeah, we immediately see a bunch of units go down. Immediately a couple of cannons going down. That first disruptor on the way as well, straight away. I'm loving this response out of Harstem personally. But he might have just been faked, because these roaches are returning back home. And we immediately... Oh, Bly, you cheeky man. Immediately goes into extra gases. And will most likely start working towards, yep, indeed, Muralisk, Bly's specialty. We see the Spire going down. Harstem isn't aware of it yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if he knows, because, of course, he wasn't born yesterday, and he's played against Bly before. He still continues disruptor production. I think that is not the greatest call. Also not a huge fan of the positioning of some of his buildings here, but yeah, Bly with that. I love this style that Bly tends to play. I really, really do enjoy that. It's so powerful. Actually, also throwing down an infestation pit right now. Harstem still hasn't scouted his Spire, but he seems to be already responding to it. And now Harstem probably is really confused and asking himself, hey, where is that Spire in reality, you know? Because where could it still be located? And Harstem right now, I bet, is really confused. But we as the viewer know that that Spire got cancelled, I guess. Ravagers on the map already. We see 7 gases here for Bly. A couple of workers going down on the side of Bly. These oracles have been extremely vital for the survival of Harstem in this game so far. Also building slightly too many gateways, probably distracted by doing something stupid. Tabbing down, listening to music or something like that. I doubt this guy is doing anything useful in his life. Tries to secure his 3rd base, but is struggling pretty mightily with that. Or excuse me, his 4th base. It's so slow. Just like the rest of this guy. God, what an idiot this Harstem is. More cannons going down right now on that 3rd base location for Harstem, who seems to be kind of afraid and losing one of his oracles for free. Like a complete moron. He has no clue right now that Bly actually is stacking into a Broodlord push. He thinks. He is stacking into a Broodlord. Yeah, no, this is a Broodlord push. Spire's going down. Oh, here's a... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Harstem was not ready for that run by at all. I also missed it temporarily. That's a lot of workers going down. Harstem can still rebuild the workers. It's not the end of the world. He has a couple of workers long distance mining already as well. So we see that Spire in the natural right now located. Another Baneling run by, doesn't hit much of anything. I'm not liking the position for Harstem at all here. See a couple of spines on the way. Yeah, I think Bly is realizing what's going on here. And Bly says, wait a second, you don't have much of anything. I think I can just go ahead and start building some spine crawlers. Which makes a lot of sense, of course. Harstem still completely not aware of what tech Bly is playing right now. Starts a couple of run-bys. And sees, well, what does Harstem actually see? Harstem doesn't see a whole lot, I have to admit. He's gonna try to scout with that unit of his, that Zealot. Doesn't quite get the information that he wants though. Doesn't quite get the information that he wants. And still not aware what tech there is. There's way too many sentries as well. Starting to look a little bit painful here for our good friend Harstem. There is a lot of Banelings here on the map already, out of Bly. But there's also a lot of Archons. I'm not quite sure if Banelings are going to be what Bly wants. Because with this Archon count, it seems to potentially be difficult. That run-by gets spotted here by Bly. Will try to take it down with links. Obviously won't work. Another run-by immediately gets sent out. Harstem also sends out some units to start clearing creep. First Tempest on the way. So Harstem really anticipating that early Broodlord switch that indeed we are seeing happen. But Harstem technically isn't aware of yet. Oh, it's actually Ultras before the Broodlords. Yeah, that's something Harstem definitely didn't appreciate there. He didn't appreciate the possibility of that whatsoever. Tempests still are going to be his weapon of choice here. I'm curious to see if that actually is the correct case. I don't think it is. I'm starting to doubt Harstem's sound decision making. Is often so sound decision making that people call him the greatest decider of all time. That is a fact. At least his mom has. Multiple occasions. True fact. The greatest decider of all time. The greatest man. The man with the greatest decisions. Good splits out of Harstem on these probes. Baneling still going to connect. And Harstem is in a world of trouble right now. Without any real way to fight these Ultralisk, it seems like Harstem is walking into a potential death trap. Has a single Immortal out and 2 Tempests. +2 is about to finish up. I think Harstem's gonna go for it here. Ladies and gentlemen, I think he's gonna go for it. And this is going to be the final push. He's on 59 workers currently. Bly on 85 workers. Bly sending out another run-by. But you don't need to do that, Bly. Oh, a lot of these guys are hallucinated here. I love this play. So much out of Harstem. Oh, that's a great play. Couple of disruptor shots flying out. Will connect. Tempest from a distance also connecting. We'll see if another run-by of Bly will be able to deal any major damage. Doesn't quite seem to be the case. So now we have another move forward here out of Harstem. He's gonna try to push through, but there's so many freaking Ultralisk here, and I think the Ultras will just be able to clean it up. Harstem not quite good enough to take this game here against Bly. As Bly pushes forward with his Queens, his Ultralisk Ravagers. GG gets called, and game number 1 goes the way of Bly. Very low drone count, 78 only, and actually not that big of a bank. Did he have that Greater Spire? Yeah, he had that Greater Spire, of course, ready behind it. Yeah, fantastic game out of Bly, and Harstem just a little bit too slow in this first game. Sadly for him, will not be able to take home the points. Will end up losing 22, as we can see, immediately hits that button one more time. Let's see if he's going to be able to get a quick opponent, or if he will need to make a cut in this video. Be sure to stay tuned for that, and we'll be right back after the commercial break. Game number 2 here in this series is going to be against a barcode suspected to be strange. The cowboy types out his good luck, good luck. Strange with the good luck I found. That doesn't sound like strange. Strange doesn't tend to good luck I found. So not quite sure who this is, but I got this replay sent to me by an anonymous email address saying this is an absolute banger. Could you please cast it? So that is indeed what I'm going to be doing here. So the top left spawning as the green Protoss player. One more time. We all know him. We all dislike him. But yet watch his videos. It's none other than Team Liquid's Harstem. And in the bottom right, we have the red barcode player. We're not quite sure who it is yet, but I'm sure is a fantastic player. Now the first deviations from the standard could be seen already at this point. We could perhaps see a 1 gate expand, but so far neither player going for it. As you see Harstem with a very rapid scout straight after gateway meets the scout of his barcode opponent on the map. And the probes will kiss and continue their journey on. Second gate will go down on both sides as well. And now the mineral harass will start. Both players will most likely try to deny as many minerals from each other as possible. Ooh, we might even see a little bit of probe attacking action over here. Beautiful play out of the red Protoss barcode there. Cybercore a little bit late for Harstem, not quite paying attention. Since we have minerals actually being stolen, so mineral denial is going to be very tricky right now for the Barcode Protoss. Instead decides to go to just attack his opponent straight up. Not the biggest fan of that usually, as at the same time we have Harstem still going ham around it. Is being chased right now by a probe. Probe goes back to mining. And we see kind of the same thing occur on the other side of the map as well in Harstem's base. One more denial of these rich patches. Absolutely beautiful play out of Harstem. What a fantastic player he can be if he really puts his mind into something. Has been a little bit lazy over the past few years. Some people say the YouTube fame has risen to his head. Some people say he's always been a dick. But all I know is that he just is such a fantastic guy at times. It's just really insane to me how kind he is to his friends, his family, and everyone he cares about. That's actually true. Loads of good stories about this guy, but we'll share them for another time as the game is starting to kick off right now. We're going to be seeing the first tech go down on the side of Harstem. Stargate after a Stalker opener. Now the question is going to be, will we see an Adept behind this? No is the answer. We're not going to be seeing an Adept behind this. Instead, we will go straight into a Nexus here for Harstem. At the same time, on the other side, we see a more sneaky approach here. More sneaky approach. We're not quite getting that map control that Harstem is getting with these two Stalkers. No, instead we're seeing a relatively quick Nexus as well. And I think this was an opener with a set. Oh my god. Stalker opener into Sentry. Instant recall out of Hamster. Oof. I mean Harstem survives with 1 HP. That was close. That was tight. We see immediately after scouting that his opponent did go for Stalker, Sentry. Starts his Twilight Council. That's an interesting call here. This is a little bit the school of MaxPax coming in here. MaxPax saying that if you're going to get scouted with Stargate, only get a single Oracle. Always interesting to have these little nuggets of information. Of course, we know that Harstem is a little bit of a MaxPax simp. There's a lot of everything that he does. A little bit too much in my opinion. To get in mind of your own, buddy. What are you up to? Third Stalker being warped in here for Harstem. It's the first scout for the Barcode Protoss is going to arrive in the green player's base right now. Ooh, beautiful move out there. A little bit risky, not complete vision. Didn't have complete vision there, the red Barcode player. Is going to end up finding that Oracle. Is that? That is a hallucinated. And Harstem was well aware that that was hallucinated. He wasn't afraid for any second there. Didn't think... Oh man, this movement is so beautiful. Out of this red player. Look at that. It's completely chasing it away. A lot of Stalkers have been built, however. A lot of units have been built. And this is potentially dangerous because this means that most likely, first of all, your third base is going to be delayed. Which could be pain. That could be pain. That could be pain. It might well be pain that your third base is delayed. Second of all, we see a Dark Shrine go down. What an unexpected call here out of Harstem. This probably means he wants to get a third base before Gateway 3 and 4. I don't like this position of the third base too much. I much would have preferred the triangle position. But it is what it is. He's done what he's done. He said what he said. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if he tries to grab a little bit of map control here with the Stalkers. Maybe even try to deny his opponent's his scouting or his base. Anything that he can deny, he'll try to deny. We see that probe moving on the map. It's going to be going for an aggressive pylon. I would have loved that pylon to be on the top side instead. As most likely, we're going to be seeing a third base in the triangle position for the red Protoss player. Blink is finishing up for both players. Harstem slightly faster, and with this stasis is feeling very, very confident even. Oh, beautiful snipe there. I do like that play a lot. I love that play even. And we'll have to see what the red Protoss decides to do here. Is he going to continue his road to try and attack Harstem here? That would be a mistake. I don't think there's any detection actually here in the natural for the red Protoss player. And we're going to see Harstem once again move on the map. At least it wouldn't surprise me if that's what we're going to be seeing. Has to be a little bit careful though, without vision. Might be very tricky. Might be very tricky. Okay, first DT is moving in right now. As, here comes the move out of the red Barcode player. And this is a mistake. This is definitely a mistake. Oh, DTs are out. DTs are out on the side of the barcode player as well. And GG gets called as there was no detection whatsoever. Harstem still with it. Oracle manages to win this game, takes home the points, gets the bag. Unbelievable. What a player. What a speed. What an authority when it comes to StarCraft. 19 points in the pocket as his opponent forgets to GG as well. A little bit of a rookie mistake, but that does happen to the best. We'll be heading into game number 3 in this series. We'll see you right back after the break. Game number 3 here is going to be played against Naniwa. Naniwa, a very old school player, known to have fantastic performances in the GSL. Recall his back-to-back round of 8 finishes. Back-to-back round of 8 finishes in the GSL. One of the only foreigners, maybe even the only foreigner to ever truly do that. I believe Rainer once got a round of 8 finish as well. As we see Harstem immediately going down with his first probe, and we see Naniwa doing the same thing. Both players here opting for that one gate expand shenanigans. Ooh, I love this so much. I can't stress how much I love this. This is such a fun opener to watch on these non-ramped maps. One gate versus one gate. We'll have to see who is going to win here, but I have a very good feeling for Naniwa. Naniwa a little more experience with the one gate expand, and the call out of Harstem seems like a rash and emotional decision, which is not something you want to be doing. Harstem is going to be the first player to scout, so we'll see it first. Might even be able to get a cheeky block off. Naniwa's probe meets Harstem's on the map, and probably took a shortcut because it actually is going to arrive quicker at his opponent's base. As both players will be one gate expanding, as mentioned before. And we immediately see Harstem getting that second pylon, Naniwa doing the same thing. Naniwa at least tries to get that natural going a bit. Both players just chasing probes around at this point. So we'll see cybernetic cores going down on both sides. And the zealots should be starting soon as well. Excuse me for that. A bit of a bad cough. What do we have here for Harstem coming out? Okay, not much. Seems to be 15 workers on minerals. Perhaps a Stargate follow-up is going to be what we're looking for. But it can be very difficult to call here. As neither player is actually microing the defending probe, with both players managing the attacking probe, you would call it, I guess. As the Stargate will go down first here for Harstem, excuse me. I keep making the same mistake, a bit of an idiot. Stargate going down afterwards here for Naniwa. And indeed a faster base here as well for Harstem, who's probably gonna be thinking of full walling. Do I like that? I don't mind it at least. I don't mind it actually. Ooh, he's gonna lose his probe in a bit of a stupid, silly way. Wouldn't have minded if we saw a faster warp gate out of him as well. I think these days it is very common for players to actually go into that straight Oracle. It's exactly what we're going to be seeing out of Harstem here. See full walls with a pylon in the wall. Should have been his third pylon, but he probably forgot to send his worker down. And now we'll have to see what's going to happen. Harstem, if he wants to play safe, actually needs to build a battery in the main base, but Harstem and playing safe don't go together in one sentence, so it wouldn't surprise me if he skips it as well. Oh, here he goes. Actually does end up building it. No. The Adept does get in, but the Oracle stays alive. The first Phoenix probably on the way as well already. Unless Naniwa decided to go for a similar setup, which seems relatively unlikely. Harstem not really controlling this all too well, I have to admit. The control here out of the Dutch Protoss player is lacking a little bit. Naniwa, however, completely messing up his attack here. And both players will be opening up with a similar setup. I like that. I do like that. I do like that a lot. Harstem might have a small lead here. Still has a recall available as well, which could definitely prove to be effective, depending on whether what his opponent decides to do. If there's a second Oracle coming his way, doesn't seem to be the case right now. Ooh. Instead, it's going to be straight Phoenixes here for Naniwa. That is very interesting. Straight Phoenix for Naniwa means that most likely Naniwa is really going to struggle against any incoming blink attacks. Makes one wonder whether this is the correct call. Makes one wonder whether that is the correct call. Blink is already on the way. I'm not sure if it has been spotted yet though by the suite. We will have to wait and see. Oh, no, it hasn't been spotted yet. But just by the fact that there's no more Phoenixes on the way, he should be able to figure that out. Personally, I have a difficult time seeing why he would continue Phoenix production at this point. Unless he's going up to 5-6 Phoenixes. And then maybe playing something like Charge Lot Phoenix. I wouldn't... That I wouldn't mind. That I wouldn't mind. See, a third Nexus coming down for Harstem. That's relatively quick. A third Nexus coming down for Naniwa as well. Seems extremely risky here. And I think Harstem is looking for punishing. He is looking for a punishment. And I think that Naniwa might not be able to hold here. I actually believe that he might not be able to hold here. Third base is on the way. Production is continuing as well. This means this is not an actual all-in. The defense in the natural is lacking. And not crack-a-lacking. No, it's just lacking. As here we're going to be seeing... Oh. There's no actual... No third base here yet. Good defense so far out of Harstem. Not unhappy with how that went for him. Could have had a way worse thing happen to him. So right now, Harstem just doesn't have the upgrades, which is an issue. Does have a really nice count of stalkers though. Look at that! Wow, wow! What a fantastic player! What a fantastic player, ladies and gentlemen. One Phoenix is going to get taken out. And the observers start hitting the field as well. Which means that soon the Oracle isn't going to be the only thing that will allow Harstem to spot what is going on the map. I kind of missed the Dark Shrine there, guys. I'm sorry for that. I just didn't see it on my production tab. I was too busy focusing on what Harstem was doing. I tend to be a little bit of a fanboy, I have to admit. Fifth gas is being taken here. I wouldn't have minded if Harstem had just stayed on like a lower gas count here. He is getting very nice vision, which is odd because his opponent does have the DTs, which usually tends to include map control. If you get the DTs, you get the map control. That is how it works. At least that's how I thought it works, but so far Naniwa doesn't seem to be too fond of that. Neither player yet on any upgrades. Is important to mention, of course. We have a little bit of a fight here for that watchtower. Blink forward out of Naniwa might actually prove to be very, very bad for him, as now Harstem is blinking forward. He's going to be going for the throat, taking out a bunch of workers already to start with. Oh, Observer going down as well. Do we see a blink behind? Oh my god, straight away into the stasis trap that Harstem set up. Brilliant play out of the Dutch. He has these two stalkers in the back, still dishing out a crap ton of damage. Massive supply block though for the Dutch player. Awful play. Makes a good play, then gets supply block. It's the story of his life, the story of his career. Just doesn't have the mechanics to back up his brains. And his brains are already relatively small, so that's not a positive thing. So his pylons are finishing up. 10 gates out as well. So we have a fort base on the way right now. It's being blocked by a DT. Harstem didn't quite see it yet. What an idiot again. Now realizes there's a DT there. And, well, he's going to be a little bit upset by that. We see a Dark Shrine coming on the side of Harstem. And Naniwa seems to just be moving forward with what he has been doing for a while already. And that is continuing building more and more units. It wouldn't surprise me if Naniwa goes for a big attack before Harstem does. You know, I feel like Harstem does have a little bit of an edge this game so far. I do believe that the Dutch player has a bit of an edge so far. I know he's a big fan of Gerdi's music, but also of building disruptors. But so far, no disruptors coming out of the Dutch factory yet. Instead, the Dutch player is going to be going for an attack. I am not a fan of this. This I am definitely not a fan of. You see a massive army on the side of Naniwa. I think Harstem noticed this. And I was like, all right, maybe never mind. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Dark Shrine finishing up as well on the side of the Duchy. And 2 more pylons are going to be going down. Oof. Very exciting game so far. We have been seeing an extreme lack of, well, what you call it? Extreme lack of attacks, actually. Now, it doesn't surprise me out of Harstem. He's an idiot and is way too passive majority of the time, even if he is winning. But out of Naniwa, he's a player that does have a killer instinct. So it does surprise me a little bit there, that we haven't seen anything yet. Most likely we've seen, oh, Naniwa already gonna be going into some air units here. I like that a lot. I do like that out of Naniwa. It's gonna be going for Phoenixes. It's going to try to preempt the disruptor switch that Harstem always goes for. Or so often goes for it. Not always, of course, but it is more common than it is uncommon. You know what I'm saying? Harstem right now trying to figure out what's happening. Big run by here coming in out of Naniwa as well. Harstem sees that that run by coming in is going to respond with his own. Well, what is he doing here? He's gonna send in his own run by. It looks like. Oh wow, that's a big run by. It's gonna be a little bit out of position, but. As we see Harstem sending in the run by at the same time. Disruptors here for Naniwa. Harstem absolutely not ready for that. But how ready is Naniwa for the run by on the other side? We see a disruptor shot is completely going to miss. The only detection that Naniwa had on this side of the map is going to get taken out. Oh. I think Naniwa might be in a little bit of trouble. I think Naniwa might just be in a little bit of trouble. No, hits a massive disruptor shot. We see Harstem continuing to chase, but is it going to be enough? I'm not quite sure. It seems to be enough as he took out the entire fort base of his opponent, but he's also losing a lot of units here. Oh, guys, what is happening? Well, this base is going to get taken out. That's what's happening. Now we see this base for Naniwa under some heavy fire. There's no workers there. There's still a lot of workers here for Harstem, who, yes, he did lose a crap ton. Sure, his control wasn't perfect, and his focus also seemed very mediocre for whatever reason. Once again, just not being very precise. Also looks like he's completely messing up all of his hotkeys. I have no clue why that is happening. Yeah. Okay, seems to be setting everything up properly again, and might be moving out for another attack. Indeed, Harstem is moving out for another attack. Alright. 5th base is not here yet for either player. Wouldn't surprise me if Harstem also is going to be the first player with a 5th base. So we have a very rapid attack here. Out of the Dutch players, going to eat a disruptor shot straight into the face. Oh, that's painful, that's big, that's painful. A couple more disruptors are entering the fray for him as well. And this run by is going to get taken out. So we have a bunch of DTs entering the natural right now of Harstem. Are going to get stopped here. There is... Oh, that is just beautiful play. I love that play so much. Having that observer there is such a huge freaking deal. And these DTs will be stopped in their tracks. +3 attack right now on the way as well for the Duchy. Let's see how close Naniwa is to be in position. And he's close to being in position, but he wasn't quite in position. And Harstem kind of takes charge of this game right now. And when he takes charge of games, he tends to be rather dangerous. That I have to admit. I don't find him a very inspiring player, but oh boy. If he does manage to take charge, he can be very, very solid. I think that's a win for Naniwa. No! Massive loss even for Naniwa. Oh man, my timing there isn't as good as it used to be. And Harstem is completely aware that that main base is pretty open right now. It wouldn't surprise me if he's going to be dropping on top of that cannon straight away. While he's doing that drop, of course he's pushing in. That Phoenix is not going to be enough to stop it. At least Harstem doesn't believe that's the case. It might just be the case though. As we're seeing some trades back and forth here. Oh, a massive run by into the third base. And this time Harstem wasn't ready whatsoever. Had his units out of position. Loses the third base to a massive DT run by here. And now doesn't even have enough units to properly deal with that. Oh, what a failure out of the Dutchie. Who is once again showing that he's not only capable of good plays, but also of terrible plays. He has way too many workers. Way too many workers. Way too many workers. Doesn't have to supply for any more units either. So we have the disruptor shots being fired off here out of Naniwa. As now Naniwa, I think, made a little bit of a mistake here. He's gonna be caught from two sides. We'll try to maybe... Oh my god, gets the base. We'll try to recall. Obviously not going to be in time. Sloppy play here out of Harstem. Sloppy play out of Harstem. Now we have Naniwa moving forward with a relatively large army. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Naniwa with another DT warp in. Let's see if he's going to manage it. If Harstem is going to manage it better this time around. Seems to be the case. Ooh, a lot of these disruptors are going to be going down. That's scary. If you're a Harstem fan. You're also scary if you're a Naniwa fan and you're thinking, hey, where's the new disruptor shots? And they're not there yet. Oh, Naniwa might be in a little bit of trouble here. Might just be in a little bit of trouble. So now we are seeing Harstem setting up his first real run by. Getting it down a fifth base as well. And I actually think that Naniwa might be in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah. That gets taken out. And that fifth base needs to be a cancel here for Naniwa. Beautiful micro here out of Harstem. Takes out all of these units. Oh no, still a single disruptor. I might have missed that. As Harstem is microing his butt off, absolutely. But is it going to be enough? I don't know. We have a couple more disruptor shots flying in right now from every direction. Fifth base is down here for the Dutchie. And that is a good start. That is That is a fantastic start. That is an absolutely fantastic start. A lot of disruptors are there once again as well. Now Harstem is going to be moving forward once again with these stalkers. Takes small losses in the stalker count. As we see him move forward here out of the Dutchie. Dutchie is moving forward, pushing all of these disruptors into a little bit of a corner. Oh, Naniwa tanks the hit and is going to lose this game. Oy, 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 what a game, what an action. And what a fantastic show this was out of the Dutch. He's going to win the series 2-1 against the ladder, because I think this was his third game. 18 minutes and 51 seconds. Absolutely beautiful gameplay here from the Dutch Protoss player, showing to be supreme in the lane game when it comes to that disruptor control, the control of the map, that Dark Templar defense. Beautiful, a thing of beauty. That's going to be it for this episode of, this is going to be it for today's show match, best of 3. I hope you all had a great time watching this. And we'll see you all next time for perhaps another show match. Thank you, and bye-bye.